Hi everybody, and welcome back to Nellie and Ruth Designs. It's Labor Day. It is Monday, Labor Day, and I believe this will show, I'm going to air this probably in a day or two. So I hope everyone had, I will speak in the past tense, I hope everyone had a nice Labor Day. It's raining here today off and on, but it's okay. I'm using it as a craft day. My husband's watching the US Open tennis at Flushing Meadows in New York. Yeah, we're just all kind of recovering and doing our thing after a very busy weekend. It was a gorgeous weekend here. And yeah, we're just hanging out and doing our thing. I had coffee this morning with my weaver friend, Shar, next door. And she has a beautiful black golden doodle, Izzy. And I got my fill of Izzy for a few hours this morning. So our coffee get-togethers are never short because we end up in her weaving studio. She gave me some more beautiful lace today, some crocheted items. We kind of got caught up, and I figured that I would come back and make a couple videos and work in my blue and white junk journal. I'm bound and determined to get this done. My September design team projects are being posted. Yeah, it's all good. So I hope everybody is being blessed with positive thoughts and just working each day at a time, taking one step at a time, and encouraging others to be as positive as you can be, to help others, to send a kind word, a message, a nice note. We could all use it these days. So yeah, I figured we're just going to get started, and I want to thank everyone for joining in, for subscribing. I've received a ton of new subscribers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really enjoy this. I'm glad that you're all coming along for the ride, joining in on my little world to see what's going on. And yeah, it's all good. So this is the journal that I'm going to, I already have a couple pages marked out in here that I want to fill. I'm going to be working, I haven't decided, I think I'm going to work with some vintage patterns that I have. Now, I do have, just so you know, in my Etsy shop, I do have vintage patterns bundled up 5 to a package for your crafting needs. Some are, they do have patterns inside. The ones I have listed, I do not know if they're complete patterns. You may luck out and get a pattern such as this with a full pattern and instruction sheet inside, which is a really good deal. But I need to get rid of some of them. So I have them, like I said, grouped in 5s for crafting purposes. And then I also have, don't forget the big catalog sheets that I have in my shop. I have 10, I'm grouping them 10 at a pop. I think I've sold 5 or 6 sets so far. Once they're gone, they're gone. I'm not going to offer any more. So if you're interested in, you know, after I use these, show you what can be done with these, if you want them, head on over to my shop and grab a stack. I received a couple weeks ago a beautiful thank you card from one of my customers in my Instagram, Etsy/friends, Linda. She had purchased a set of 10 of my counter catalog women. She sent me this thank you, and I just love it. She actually used the women that were on the sheets here. So I would really like to duplicate this, but I'm not going to do it in a tag. We'll do a tag down the road. I want to do it in some of my busier pages in my journal. So I have a page here marked. This paper here I really like. This is from Gail Agostinelli. This is one of her digital download designs papers. And obviously can't journal on this because it's too busy. So I would just like to decorate these pages. This one here, I have a pocket, and I'll reinforce this a little bit. But I thought I would decorate the two inside and possibly one on this side. And I really want to use, I'm going to set this over here so it doesn't block the light. I really want to use some of my, either the larger counter catalog pages, or now I think Linda might have used glue stick on these, and I'm just going to run a little bead of glue. Sometimes when you use glue stick, just so you know, it does dry out a little bit, but that's just the nature of the beast. So if you receive something from someone and it starts to dry out a little, don't think that they didn't do a good job or they were reckless or careless. It's just that if she did use, and I'm assuming she used a glue stick, it does dry out and you just have to glue things back down, but that's okay. So I'm really, and again, because it is so we're just kind of use this as a model. And I do like she used a little piece of fabric here. This I'm really digging. I don't know. I've never seen anything this small. I don't know if she maybe scanned a pattern and then shrunk it down, or if this was for a doll. I don't know. I don't know what she did to make this so tiny, but this measures right around 5 by 7, which is a great size for a journaling card. And if you were to make a card this size, it does fit. If you have a sleeve or whatever, it does fit just nicely anywhere in the journal. And I have a translucent sleeve in here that might be up front that I pop it in so I can see, oh, right here, so I can still see it. See, I can pop that right in there, and then that will be part of my journal. But for now, I'm not going to make a tag. I just want to decorate these two pages here. So I'm first going to, how I'm going to do this, because these are a little bit larger, and I want to show you, if you have seen these in my shop, you're going to say, oh gosh, they're just too big. I don't know what to do with them. Well, one thing you could do, you could scan this on your computer, as long as you're using it for your personal journal, and you could shrink the image a little bit, but I'm not going to, because I want to use the original. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to measure my paper here. And again, because this is a digital download, it's going to be, this is on 8.5 by 11 paper. So it's not like your scrapbook papers where you're working with a larger piece. So this here, I'm going to say 7.5 inches tall. All right. And then I really don't care about the width. I'm just going to say 5 inches to keep a little border. So 7 by 5. So these here, let me see if I can do it this way so we can actually see a little bit better. I'm going to get this board here. So this is measured in 1-inch increments. So we have our 7. So here I would be able to see, so 7 would take me right down towards the bottom of my page, and it would take me right down to about her skirt. And that's fine, because I'd be able to get her hand in here and all of that. If I wanted to use this one, I'll do the same thing. And 7 would take me right down to about her skirt right there. So I'd still be able to see a lot of this lace. All right. So you would just have to figure out your page size and cut these down. The other, and I call it a dilemma, but it's not a dilemma, is if I use, and I really like this image here. I'm going to want to see what's on the other side. So I really wouldn't use the brown in anything. So I am going to use her, and I really like these two gals here. So I'm going to get this one cut out first so I can really kind of see where I'm going to go with this. And I'm going to just try to cut close. To her, so, and then I'll fine tune in a minute. And because I know I'm not going to be using her legs, I'm just going to cut down about halfway. But I'm not going to get rid of this because this would be fun. You could always use this in some sort of funky collage that you would be working with. So let's get her cut first. And I am going to leave her legs on for now, just so I can see where we are at. And I am going to leave a little bit of white around her body. I'm not going to try to get so close to the shape and outline of her. And I also will not be using any distress ink on her as well. I'm just going to leave this natural. All right, so there's our one. All right, and then I really like these two gals here. And again, these are gray, so, and she looks like her legs won't interfere with this yellow one at all. So again, I'm going to cut rather close just to get these gals cut out here. And I'm only using my large scissors because this is a larger, it's a larger graphic, and I want to be able to get a larger cut. All right, so let's see where we are here. All right. So I would use, all is not lost. If you have an image and you do like her, you could just make a straight, if you wanted to, go with the yellow instead of the gal here. Although I do like her. You could make a straight cut down like this, all right? And then you could cut her out, and then she could go up. If you really wanted an image like this, you could put her on this side of the page. So you'd have your straight cut here, and then you'd have her figure on the outside. So even though she's cut a little bit here, I don't think it's imperative that you have her hand in there and part of that skirt. You could just make a nice straight cut and use her on that side of the page. So don't let something like this detour you. And again, I would be doing the same thing with her, because when I cut her out, I'm going to have to take a little piece of that arm out. So she would be, both of these gals would be on the left-hand side of your journal. So I'm going to set these two women over here. They can do whatever they want to do. Talk it up. All right, I'm going to cut. And see, by cutting very close to her, if you decided that you did want to use this side instead, this is salvageable. You can still continue to cut the line around here and nothing would be lost, all right? So when you are cutting, just make sure that you cut as close as you can when you start. And also, I want to let everybody know that I'm going to be putting my Etsy shop on vacation for a couple weeks. My son is having, in October, he is having jaw surgery. And that's the end of October. That's October, the last week of October. So I've decided that I'm going to be making as many videos as I can to get loaded up in my YouTube, so they can continue, you know, to run and everybody can craft along with me out there. But I'm going to take a couple weeks off. So I'm going to close my Etsy shop. Not close it. I don't want to say that. I'm putting it on vacation from September, probably the 23rd or probably the 23rd. And I'm going to take a couple weeks and I'm going to just spend some time with my son and family. We've got some things planned that we're going to do because once he has his jaw surgery, and I'm going to be doing a lot of cooking. I'm going to be in my kitchen getting food ready for him that he will be able to eat. A lot of soft foods and things after his surgery because his jaw will be wired shut for a little bit. And he's not going to be able to eat a lot of foods. And then he actually, which I didn't realize, he's going to have to do physical therapy on his jaw. So his jaw learns how to open and close again. And he has to kind of, I'm not going to say retrain the muscles, but it's going to be a different opening for him, opening and closing. And our good friend is an oral surgeon, and he's doing the surgery. He is one of the best on the East Coast. And he and two other surgeons, it's actually 3 surgeons that are working on my son's jaw. And it's all because he has to have the surgery because he had an incorrect bite, which we thought was corrected. In the 3rd grade, he had braces to correct it, and his jaw continued to grow. So unfortunately, his teeth, even after he had his braces, were his teeth were literally sitting on top of each other, and not good. So he has to have this all corrected through surgery. So I decided that I'm going to put my Etsy shop on vacation, and I'm going to be cooking. He'll continue to work, but he has a little more of a flexible schedule. And we're going to do some special things together and eat some really good food. He's going to have to gain a little bit more weight before the surgery because, like I said, he won't be able to eat everything he's used to. And then I'll open my shop. My shop will be back opened up, probably mid-October. And I'll get things back rolling in there. So if there's anything that you want in the shop, be sure to grab it. I'm not going to restock it until I reopen it after, take it off vacation mode. But I just think it's important to spend time with him and do some stuff and make sure he's all set for his surgery. So, all right, so there's our girls. And so this here, so we will have to, again, I just want to decide where I want to place her. I think I'm going to put her over here. And I will make a straight cut across her skirt. And then these two lovelies. I think what I'll do is maybe turn this into a half of a page to journal on. And then I may put these I really want to keep them solid. And maybe I'll turn this into somewhat of a journaling page as well. And we can decorate this side because don't they look wonderful? I just think this looks really great between the greens and the blues. So I think we'll do that. So I'm going to make a straight cut across her skirt. And I have to remember, I also had to, which the only people that know this are my family and a few of my good friends. But the last 2 days I have I've had to reconfigure my craft room. My desk is where it always has been. But everything around me that I grab and I turn my chair and get, it's all been moved. I came in here, let's see, I hiked on Friday. My daughter-in-law and I went up north to hike a big waterfall. And I came in here Thursday night and I tripped. I tripped on my plastic mat that's under my chair. And I took a really, really bad fall. The corner of my desks are very, I'm just going to put her here till I finish designing the page. The corners of my desk are very pointed and sharp, very sharp. I was thrown forward, just above my temple and above my eyebrow. I hit the corner of my desk. I tried to stop my fall. I'm not sure. I punctured my hand on something. It felt like it went right through this thing here. I punctured my hand, I bruised my ribs, and I hurt my right knee really bad. And again, I don't know what happened. It was almost like somebody was behind me and they just pushed me. And I was down for about, I bet you a good almost 10 minutes. My husband heard me fall and he came running up and he wanted to help me up, but I couldn't move. I said, just don't touch me. Just don't do anything. I can't even think about moving right now. And the first thing I thought of was, number one, I'm hiking in the morning, and it's a good hike in and a good hike out. It takes 2 hours to get to the waterfall. And then I thought, oh, my crafting hand, my right hand to do everything. So I did the hike and I was fine and I was doing really good. But then, of course, me with my, oh, let's push it. Let's do a little bit more. We got to the waterfall and I said to my daughter-in-law, wonder how far Rainbow Falls is from here. And we headed out. It had rained the night before. We headed out. And wouldn't you know, I slipped on a wet root on my left hand or my left foot, and I went down and I landed right on my right knee. So it was not good. So we kind of went out a different route because of all the wet roots. And I came home and sat by the pool and I iced my knee. So I just wanted to make sure that I needed to rearrange and reconfigure the items all around my desk. I just don't think I was giving myself enough room to get in and out. And I think that's why I went down. So when I go to reach for something, I'm sometimes grabbing at the air because it's not where I'm used to having my item. But I just thanked God that I did not hit my temple. Now I know, when they say, oh, so-and-so took a fall in their home and they died, or so-and-so took a fall in their home and, they have a brain bleed now, or I can see how it happens. It happens so quick. All right, I know I did say I wanted to do some journaling on this side. So what I'm thinking of doing, because I'd like to have something on this corresponding side as well. And I like to bring a little bit of red in. Like to make a little, maybe I could just make a little pocket here, and then I could put a nice tag in to journal. So if I take one of these patterns here, let's see, I can make a little, let's see if we can make a, and the other item I have in my shop too, if you're interested, I do have bundles of old patterns. I had a lot of patterns with no jackets. I had a lot of patterns with no jackets and no instructions. So I've put bundles together. to use to create pockets and things like that. So maybe that's what we'll do here. We'll create a pocket so you know what, another idea that you can use with sewing patterns. And we'll kind of base it again off of Linda's thank you, because she had used a piece of pattern. So we could make a cute little pocket. And I'm just trying to think what I could use for. Now I have a master board that I have created, and I have one that I haven't cut yet. So let me grab that, and maybe we could cut a little pocket from that. It's right here. So I had made these master boards, and I haven't used either one yet, but we could make a pretty little pocket. And I'm thinking I don't want to use anything with blue in it. Maybe this is where we could bring the reds and some reds and greens in. So I would want to make a pocket here. Maybe let's do 4.5. Because I'd want it inside of the stitching. So 4.5. And how about, let's make a deeper one. Then I could just tuck some letters in there. So how about 4.5 by, how about 4.5 by 3.5? All right. So let's get that cut here. So 3.5. So I'm gonna have to cut this down a little bit. So we're gonna want a 4.5, but I want 3.5 first. I don't want to cut the whole. Okay, so there's our 3.5. And then let's do, which do I want to do here? Let's do the red. Let's do a 4.5 here. There we go. Or do I like this one better? No, I like that with the red. All right. So then what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to tuck that there. I'm going to add a little bit of this. I'm going to add some of this here. I'm just going to tear this. We'll see how this comes out. And because this is going to be a pocket, I can always tuck that like that. I'm just going to start. And I think for this, I think I will use my Yoo-Hoo but I will be putting it on I'm going to do this kind of slow. I'm going to do it like this so I can kind of see where I want to go with it. There we go. All right. All right, I'm going to take this. And I'm going to all right. And I think right by that INJ. Okay. I have to laugh. I grabbed that ooh-hoo and I was going to try to distress the... I'm like, nope, can't do that. And if we don't get to the second page today, I'll just continue on and make this a part one of a two. Okay, so we have that there. Let's see. There's my little book that I made a couple weeks ago. We can get a... Oh, I also have, which I ran off. I ran off some sayings from Mrs. Coggs Design, Mrs. Coggs Crafts. What did I do with that paper? What did I do with that? That I wanted to use. Oh, here we go. So I ran these off, and I think I'm going to put a saying on there. These are her positive thinking, Mrs. Coggs Crafts, and these are her digital downloads. This is the positive thinker, sees the invisible, feels the intangible, and achieves the impossible. If you can change your mind, you can change your life. I like that because I'll tell you why I like that right now. And these here I just ran off on regular copy paper because I didn't want the bulk. I like this here, this saying, because I've been doing a lot of Bible study again. And it's so true. If you can change your mind and you can change your heart, you can change your life. And I just think that is just so true. But I'm also wondering, I don't want to cover all this up. I wonder if what it would look like. I think I'll cut this down a little bit. I don't need to have all of that. Let's cut these a little like this. Yeah, this might be a little bit better. There we go, that's a little bit better. And then we can get a couple other little, maybe a little something else on here. If I can find a little tiny one, a little number or something. I know I put some little tiny numbers in here when I was stuffing this. Yeah, I got a little, I thought I had a little colored one. Well, apparently I don't. Take this little one out. Just want to add a little something to this top left-hand corner here. That's good. Oh, let's see. Feels like it needs something on that bottom. Let me look at my, I'm going to look at my, grab a thing of washi tape. We have that. And let's see. We have that. Well, that's got the stamps in it. I don't want to use that. We want to bring a little more red in. We have that. And let's see. What's another? We have that. And we have that blue. So Let's play with a little washi tape here. I do like this because it has all of the colors in it. Just adding a little bit more I'm going to put that down there. Group it all in a corner. Okay. That. And I'm just going to just add a little bit here. Put up here. I'm not going to add that. I think that's fine just the way it is. I like that, just that little bit of extra with the blue. So these we can put to the side. Those we will move up there. This I'm going to stick back. Well, I'm going to glue that down. All right, so I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to glue it. I'm going to get this glued down. And I think what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to add a little bit of lace on this side, just to add a little bit of dimension to that. So hold on, I'm going to go grab a little tiny bit of lace and we'll add that on before we glue it down. Okay, so I got this little bit of lace here, and I'm going to take just enough to put on the end here. All right, just a little tiny bit. So let's try this. All right. Get this out of the way. And I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac for this. A little bead along here. Okay. All right, so I have that. And yeah, I'm just going to have it on that end. I don't want to overload it. I don't want to. So I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac to glue this around the side here. Make sure I'm gluing the right side here. I don't want to glue the boy, this is like your hot glue gun. All right, we're going to glue that right down there. And then I have a nice little pocket to put a journaling card in. I think maybe, see, that'll hold a nice journaling card right like that. Okay. Or a letter. I could write a nice letter and fold that. All right, so let's get her over here on this. And I may just put her on. I do like, that's going to fight against that. So I don't want to use that. Let's see here. This is where the struggle becomes real. So I'm thinking what might be kind of pretty is a nice flower. Because we have the flower here, we could add a flower over behind her. So let's see what we have for flowers, and then I can get this wrapped up. I'll get this one wrapped up. Let's see if these are going to be, some of these might be just way too big. I just grabbed a folder here. Let's see, let's look at the lilies. Okay, now let's see. Yeah, this is my folder with all my very large flowers that I did for scrapbook pages. And I'm not going to get back up to get my other folder because I don't think it's necessary. So let's see. We have some crocus. It's too big. And no, I don't like that. All right, let me grab, I'm going to just go grab my, I'm so unprepared. Hold on, I'll be right back. All right, so what I'm going to do is I looked through my other flowers, and I really like this because I like the colors to go with this, but I'm not going to put it anywhere around. I'm going to just let her, this gal, be the focal point. And I still think this page needs to have a little something, so I'm going to tuck this just like this in here. Now I just have to decide if I'm going to cut this leaf off or not, but I do like it, and I'm still able to get a nice, I can still get a nice tag down in here to journal on. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm just going to cut this part off here when I tuck that down in, just to take a little bit of this off so it's not so bulky and cumbersome in here. So I think that'll be, and I just think it kind of ties everything up. It's really not what I had in mind to do on these pages, but I still like it. It's my book. It's not like I'm, you know, making it for someone that I wouldn't be satisfied with if I was making this to sell, if it was a custom order. All right, I just think that looks much nicer. And I'm going to put Liz. I'm naming her Liz. She looks like a Liz to me. I'm putting her over on the other side. And then we will wrap this up. So I hope you liked this video. I hope you weren't disappointed. I'm a little disappointed in how this one came out. But I guess I'm just keeping it real, because how many times have you gone to make a page, or you have one thing in mind and it changes, or maybe it's not how you planned it or how you thought it would come out. But I guess, isn't that life? That's what you call life. Sometimes you plan things and it doesn't work out. You have expectations of yourself or of others or of items, what you think might work, and it doesn't. But you know what? It's okay. It's all okay. I mean, I'll probably end up writing something special on a letter here and tucking it in, and I'll really like it. It'll probably be my favorite page. So I really think that I'm going to leave it like this. I think I'm going to add one more saying. And then over here, down here, and I think I'm just going to call it quits. And because we have, if you can change your mind, you can change your life. Over on this side, I'm going to put this saying on here. If you realized how powerful your thoughts are, you would never think a negative thought. And that's what I'm holding myself accountable to negative thoughts. I really don't want to go there anymore. I don't have time for negativity. And if you're negative, you can't lead a powerful life. And I'm going to put that right there. If you are negative, you cannot lead a powerful life. There. All right. Now I like it. I think that came out nice. And then in my next video, we will work on the gals over here. We will get them set and do this page. And then I'll have 2 more pages done in my journal. So thanks everybody for tolerating me, putting up with me today, being patient with me. Bless you all. I really appreciate it. And I will see you in my next video. All right, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.